Okay, Kevin, do you?
Recording is active.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, folks, I'm just going to get our... Can you tell me if you can see the agenda, Kevin?
Yes, it's
All
up.
right. All right, we're recording. The agenda's up. All right, hello, everybody. Welcome to the August 21st, 2025 edition of the KubeStellar Community Meeting. In front of you, you see our agenda. Thank you very much for joining. For those of you watching on replay, thank you for joining us as well. So this particular agenda is located at kubestellar.io/agenda, and you can get there. If you want access to that document, you have to go join our Google group, which is at kubestellar.io/_join us. Join is separated by an underscore there. Or you can just say join us without the underscore. It'll take you to the same place. Once you get to that endpoint, you'll be asked to join our Google group. From there, you'll get access to read and write this document, as well as get a regular reminder that this meeting is indeed happening. So, we are proud members of the CNCF community, and we are a CNCF sandbox project. As such, we abide by a contributor code of conduct. And so I'll just read it here. As contributors and maintainers in the CNCF community and in the interest of fostering an open and welcoming community, we pledge to respect all people who contribute through reporting issues, posting feature requests, updating documentation, submitting pull requests or patches, and other activities. We are committed to making participation in the CNCF community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of level of experience, gender identity and expression, sexual orientation, disability, personal appearance, body size, ethnicity, race, age, religion, or nationality. That just basically means, folks, please be nice to each other. Good general rule of thumb. Okay, so our meeting this week is going to focus on a lot of stuff having to do with logistics, centering around the LFX, but if you have other items you would like to add to the agenda, or if you just simply like to put your name on our attendee list, please do so now. Okay, I see there's some new faces on the call. Would anybody like to introduce themselves or say hello? Okay. All right. So this week we've got a lot of interesting developments that are happening in the community, a couple of which are noted here. So we've got some new YouTube content that's out there from Raul and Ishan, and they are explainers on how to use KubeStellar, reviews on how to use KubeStellar Core and KubeStellar UI, things like how to create, how to satisfy the DCO component of our repository and things like that. And very helpful pointers, how to get started contributing, et cetera, et cetera. So I highly recommend you taking a look at either of these YouTube videos if you want to learn more about how to contribute to KubeStellar. On another note, we've also got, let's see if I can get Medium going here. Let's see, medium.com. I think it's KubeStellar. KubeStellar/blog. KubeStellar/blog. Now the blogs, let's go here, blog. Okay, and on our reading list, we've got a few new items that have been put out there. One by a gentleman by the name of Harshal. He put together a case study on KubeStellar UI, and then how beginners can get started from 0 to 60 from Abhishek Kumar. So some really good new content is out there and waiting for people to read it. We'd love your opinion, or if you'd like to add more or add clarifications to it, we'd love that too. Okay, so we've recently moved our CNCF Slack organization to the CNCF community. We used to be with Kubernetes, and we decided that that was a little too restrictive for us. We couldn't do things like workflows to have reminders for meetings or reminders to start a project or anything like that. So we moved to KubeStellar Dev, the same name of the channel, but in the CNC Slack organization. If you'd like to join that organization, we'd love to have you there. Just go get yourself an invite from the community inviter for Cloud Native Compute Foundation. Then once you've done that, you'll see in Slack, you've joined that community, and then you can join our specific channel. And that's the link for our specific channel there now. Okay, so for upcoming events and things that are going on in the community, We've got KubeCon EU on the horizon. It's going to be in Amsterdam. I believe it's late April this year, or maybe early April. Oh, early April, I believe. The CFP is now open. We'd love to have any and all of your, if you'd like to insert or submit a call for a proposal on KubeStellar's behalf on your community that you've joined. We'd love to have you go there and try it out. You're allowed to have up to 2 CFP submissions entries for each KubeCon, as well as 2 pre-conference submissions. So that's 4 per person. So that's a lot. So we encourage you highly, if you'd like to take advantage of that system, we'll support you in any way we can. If you need us to review content, you need us to supply content, images, links to information, whatever it may be, we're happy to help you out. So use all 4 of these if you can. It's very hard to get in, and while we are present in the project pavilion and usually a lightning talk in every KubeCon, we always like to have proposals for people who would like to do talks on our behalf. Okay, so that covers EU in 2026. KubeCon North America in 2025, a little more immediate. That's going to take place in Atlanta, Georgia. It's between November 10th and 13th, and November 9th will be the pre-conference. So far, we've got a lightning talk scheduled on the 10th of November at 1:24 p.m. I'll be giving that. We also have a poster session for software-defined farming. That's between Cornell and KubeStellar, and that'll be at 6:15 on November 11th. And the project pavilion, we will be present there. We don't know which one it'll be on, which date it'll be on. It'll either be the Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So stay tuned. I'm sorry, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I put in for Wednesday and Thursday. So let's see what they come back with. They usually solidify that late in the process here. So we should know in a couple of weeks whether we've been where we'll be in the project pavilion and what date and time. So I'll update it accordingly. We also have one other special item that we're tracking to find farm to be part of one of the keynotes there at KubeCon. We don't know what our chances are in being selected, but we've tried hard to put in as much information as possible to have the selection committee have enough information to make a decision. So we hope to learn about that more in the coming weeks too, and we'll inform you as to what the status is on that when it happens. Okay, let's see. The co-located CFP is closed now also, and that takes place on November 9th. I don't believe we have any. I don't know if anybody knows if we have any CFPs that were accepted there, but I didn't hear of any. Okay, was recently at Open Source Summit in Denver, Colorado, and gave a talk on the Interns for Open Source project within KubeStellar. And this video you can watch. It's a full 45-minute presentation that we gave. It goes over, what our beliefs are around bringing interns into the project, how to keep the project viable by leveraging the hard contributions that contributors make. This is great for folks that are looking for both paid and unpaid menteeships. So I suggest you check that out if you want to see our theories and methodology around how best to use that program. The Fall LFX Internship program will start on September 8th. We have 6 projects proposed and approved, and you can find them in the pull requests over at the CNCF mentoring repository. Those projects span quite a few different areas. We have some playwright testing, so that'll be testing for the user interface using another project called Playwright. We also have some updates to controller logic to do things like collect status from remote WECs. We're interviewing for that right now. We did a design system. We created a design for a new documentation system over the course of the summer, and we'll be doing an implementation of that design system in the fall. We also have a developer relations position that we'll be doing a menteeship with. This is important because we are looking to grow the number of contributors in terms of outside businesses. So this is what we would call contributors from businesses that are adjacent to IBM Research, who's primarily staffing this specific project. So places like, folks from we're looking for folks for like Cisco or any of the new AI companies that have grown up and would like to work on multi-cluster kinds of problems. So we're looking for that. We're also looking to increase the amount of content that we have out on things like YouTube and LinkedIn, Instagram, X, all that good stuff, as well as also get a handle on who our users are. We've not been able to focus much attention on who our users are for the KubeStellar project. And so in the fall, we'll be focusing a lot of attention on that. And as we gain information about that, we'll be growing our adopters.md file. The gist of the developer relations and community growth program for the fall is to open the door for us to be able to start working towards incubation status, which is a graduation from Sandbox. So we're currently a Sandbox project in the CNCF. We'd like to move into what's called incubation. And when we do that, there's more requirements for what our repos and our technology should do and our processes, but there's also a requirement for understanding who our users are and showing how we're taking their need for adjustments or feature sets or changes in bugs and how we're addressing them. So we want to get a better handle on that. So this is to start growing in that direction and become eligible to become an incubating project at some point in next year, maybe late next year in the fall. We also have an A2A project, which is having to do with AI and using agents to do the bidding of GPTs and so forth. This also incorporates MCP, and so this is a project that we'll be taking on this fall. And also the ratio of ITSs to WDSs, which has been an area that we think that would be useful for our users to be able to explore, and we've gotten some indication that people want that. So those are the 6 projects. We've got we've got at least 20 or so applicants in each one of those areas, and we're looking for folks to come on as both paid and unpaid mentees in this space. So how it works is we are right now interviewing for the paid positions for each one of these 6 programs. And once those paid positions are solidified, those nominations will go out, or the applicants will get notification that they've been selected on August 27th. We must have our picks in by August 26th. Once the notifications go out, we will then welcome the paid mentees in should they accept our selection, and then we will work with them to select unpaid mentees at that point in time in the hopes of getting ready to start the new semester. As I stated, the semester will start on September 8th. So that's when we'll get started in earnest, and the program runs for 12 weeks. Okay, we also have a Cornell software-defined farm program, as I mentioned earlier. Their focus has been on enclave and confidential computing. This has been their focus for 2025, and we're happy to announce also a little earlier in this program here that they have been accepted for a poster session on the show floor of KubeCon North America in Atlanta from November 10th to the 13th. Congratulations to Cornell. Georgia Tech, we did some work with them over the summer. They created a project called KubeCuttle plugin, and it's using what you basically type is KubeCuttle multi, and then any object type or object kind that you'd like, and it'll retrieve all objects of that kind across all clusters that participate in a KubeStellar environment. This is great. I want to say congratulations to Rupam, who is on the call now, and to Rupam Mana. He is now the chief maintainer of the KubeCuttle plugin repo. So we're starting to expand and bring more people on, new folks. Thank you, Rupam, for joining and working on your contribution ladder. Good things happen to good people. All right, that's all I have for what's going on in and around KubeStellar in terms of community activity, internships, menteeships, attendance at conferences, information. Does anybody have any questions or comments they'd like to give about that? I'll pause here. Okay. All right, let's continue on. So we've got Mike. Are you on? Is Mike on the call? I didn't see him. No. Okay. So we've just got we have an alpha release for 0.29, and I think it's pegged on Kubernetes 1.30. We have an upgrade campaign to move to the next version of Kubernetes. We always have an upgrade campaign to keep up with the most recent version of Kubernetes, and the next one will be 1.31. All right. This must be Mike's. Held in abeyance until the flood of OpenPR subsides. Mike, that's never going to subside. So keep it coming. All right. More vulnerability fixes are on the way. We also have, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, we have, among other things, a pile of PRs about our docs and our website, some of which are fighting with each other. And we also discovered some weird behavior on the CNCF scanners, which are making us scramble a little bit. So any of our community members, if you're thinking of writing another PR about our docs, hold off for a few days while we clean up the backlog. That's all I ask. Or check the ones that exist and watch what's going on.
Yes, and so expanding on what Kevin just said, we've been looking at maturing the project in a number of different ways, one of which is to look at some of the places that are actually ranking our project in terms of, our abiding by certain principles and practices that are deemed to be indicators of healthy or excellent projects. LFX has one called Insights, in which we've scored 45%, I believe, or no, that's not LFX Insights. One of them is, we're scoring as a healthy project. We'd like to be an excellent project. That's what we're aspiring to be. And another one called OpenSSF, which scans our project for its adherence to certain security practices, and we're scoring about a 45% ranking there, and of course we'd like that much higher. So there are very simple things that we need to do in order to improve our scores, things like adding linkages or links to information that already exists on our site, but just put it in a place where these quote-unquote scanners, as Kevin refers them to, are looking for them specifically. And so once we do that, we hope that our scores will rise. You can see there are two epics open, one for LFX Insights and one for OpenSSF. And if you'd like to join on and take a look at those, as Kevin says, be cautious and look to see if other PRs are already open in the space that cover things that you would like to address. But by all means, we'd love to have your help if you're willing to do so. Kevin, I hope I didn't run over you on that one.
Nope, that was fine. The biggest problem we have is that they only look in the repo root when they're looking for these things. And we just moved everything out of the root. So now we have to undo all that work. So making changes to the files while we're trying to move things around just further complicates it. So once we get it cleaned up, then we'll say something and it'll be open season again on our docs.
So Kevin, is now a bad time to say I told you so?
I would get to say I told you so because I did this and then you moved them all. So.
Oh no, I always wanted them in the root. But anyway, I'm not going to go there. Okay. Okay. So Prow, our migration is complete, but we've got items that can be worked on there. By all means, if you're in the community and you know anything about automation and continuous integration, we have a system called Prow, which does all of our CI for PRs. And if you'd like to jump in and learn a little bit more about Prow and help us out with some of the things there, we'd love to get some more feedback on that. Maybe there's some room for some help wanted there, so maybe we put some out there. In fact, let me note that here. Help wanted items need to be created for this. Okay. We do have, so make KubeFlex not apply a post create hook too soon. and then removing the waiting stuff that we have from KubeStellar's demo environment installer. This is, I think, it's going to be a fantastic new feature. I think there's a PR right now underway. We're just waiting for it to move its way through the system of reviews. Paolo, I think, was on the call. Paolo, have you reviewed this stuff and have any comments on it?
Sorry, I was trouble with my phone. Yeah, I think I took a look. I think we are waiting for a larger PR first to merge. That was something that Nui requested. So we've in flight also the big K3S PR. So we hope to finish that soon, and then we can match the other one.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So on the back end of what Paolo just stated, there's a fascinating new feature that you can that's available to you now in KubeFlex, which I'd like to take a second to just talk a little bit about. Is that we now allow you to have what's considered a multi-tenant control plane, where tenants will only see their specific information, their specific workloads for their specific needs. And it's fully supported by KubeFlex, and in conjunction or in partnership with a project called K3S. And so, yeah, check it out when you get a chance. There'll be documentation on how to use this new feature coming in the future. I think there's already documentation in the PR, and there's already some that is floating around in the main repo, but eventually that'll work its way into the doc site. Paolo, does NUI have plans to put this in put any of this stuff in the doc site?
That was not part of the initial goals for the LXF work, but we probably will open issues for that. So that is help wanted for sure.
There you go. Yeah. Paolo, it's easy.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. All right. So we've got a bunch of other things going on with, in terms of the code. We've got a vulnerability in our core Helm chart, which we think will eventually address the whatever's deemed as critical and can be fixed. Not everything that's critical can be fixed. So anything that's fixable, we will address that in the Helm chart. We've got some work on summarization. It's still an ongoing project, but that should be covered in large measure by the program that's been started for the fall for WEC Status. So I think there'll be some better progress, some faster progress on this over the course of the fall term. And we still have in our sites multiple simultaneous KubeStellar systems. So look for more flexibility there over time. This will probably be somewhat enabled by the new A2A and MCP work that'll happen this fall also. All right, so I think that's about it for now. We've got a bunch of other work going on with post-create hooks, still ongoing, and like Paolo said, there's a larger PR that needs to be landed, but there's more on the way there. So that should clean up a lot of the types of things that we used to do, long wait times to complete our installation. Hopefully that'll help there. Also, there's a roadmap discussion that's taking place. You can see what some of the priorities here are for us. So a lot of open PRs at this point. We're looking for more people to help us with reviews of those things. And the best way to get to the point where you can review these is to follow our contributor ladder, to move up the ranks, to start off as an unpaid mentee, as a paid mentee, to move into a maintainer role, and then on into some form of working side by side with us to help maintain the project. We've been helping to educate and groom people for the past few months. It's working out very well, and we're starting to make our way from a lot of the tangential projects that we have, like the user interface and the plugin and the docs. People are growing curious about how to work with Kubernetes core functionality, and so as those folks get more and more curious, we'll invite more of them in, have more projects to work on in those areas, and hopefully groom and grow a brand new, the next set of folks to maintain the KubeStellar project. Let's see. We got a new KubeFlex release that'll be imminent as a result of the PCH work. Of course, KubeStellar will be updated to use that KubeFlex and then make a new KubeStellar release. And then the upgrade campaign for Kubernetes 1.31 can take place. We've got more security vulnerabilities are always coming up, so there's an endless amount of work there. And we've got some convergence on OCM ACM, which I'm not really too sure about what that includes. Okay. So that's the general gist. That's our meeting for this week for the content that I had to share. We have all the time if you'd like to ask questions or you have general comments on what we're doing here in the community and would like to bring something forward, we'd love to hear from you. So I'll pause now.
We do have one question in the chat, Andy.
Yeah, OpenSSF practices. Can we get the update scores? Yeah, you can go to OpenSSF yourself actually and see it. And if you go to openssf.org, let's see. Yeah, let me see if I can find KubeStellar's OpenSSF. Because I think if you go to KubeStellar's, I know I'm not sharing my screen right now, but just give me a second to look. I think on the main page, no, that's not it. I'm looking at the github.com KubeStellar/KubeStellar. If you scroll down, let me see if I can find it. All right, here we go. Let me try and share again. Okay, I'm sharing my screen, and what you can see is right now the best practices for OpenSSF is 45%. Our scorecard is 5.6. I believe if you click on this, you'll see. Yeah, so it's available for you to see. Just basically click on the badge and you'll see updates. These are the areas where we need improvement. I did include an initial PDF file of having that information, but yeah. Does that help answer your question? There we go. Oh, so when you click on it, JP, you can't see this? JP, do you want to speak or do you want to just chat?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so thanks for having me.
Thank you, JP. Yes,
Okay,
you're not able to see it. Kevin, are you able to see this?
I can see it in an incognito browser. It looks slightly different to me.
it's not like I'm not able to see it. I'm actually able to see it, but I just want to know how I can get the updated one. Like some of the PRs get merged, then how can we get the updated one? Like how I can, how I know like this thing is actually updated or not.
Oh, how do you know? Oh, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. What I think what I'm going to guess is that this scan runs on some regular interval. I'm guessing it runs maybe on a daily or nightly. Maybe it's only weekly. I can find out. I guess I'll take a look around. Let's see. What does it say?
Yeah, the last one was generated on August 11th. So that's
Okay,
10
so
days ago.
there you go. So it's not regularly updated, it looks. Let's see. What does it take to update? Where do you see that, Kevin? This
Okay,
right
so
here?
as I said, I did what you did, but I did it from an incognito window. And so I get a different view than you're seeing.
Oh. Okay. Hmm.
You want me to share it so you can see what I see?
Yeah, why don't you share yours? Because I don't, I'm looking.
There's that. I always lose the share button. Hang on. There it is. So this is what a regular user would see, and you can see right there it says when it was generated.
I wonder. Open SSF scorecard update cadence. Conducts weekly scans. Scans are triggered automatically on any repository change or code update. Setting published results true allows these results to replace the team's weekly scans and enables badges to be displayed. Or via command line interface. In this case, the update cadence is entirely dependent on the user's manual execution. It says it updates weekly, but based upon what you're seeing there, it doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. I'll find. I think they have a GitHub repo. I'll look and see if there's any issues with update. Checking for PyHub should remove. Not updated since 7/07. Let's say scorecard E2. Big query table. Nothing new this week as well. Last date is did not resolve this. Okay, let me look into it because maybe there could be a scanning something in the OpenSSF file. Do we have a file, I believe, that's in the repo that allows for OpenSSF?
Yeah. Also, since you saw many more dropdowns than I do, since you're the owner, one of those dropdowns might have a button you can adjust.
Yeah, I didn't see one there. There's not anything that says, run it now.
Yeah.
All right. So good point, JP. Thanks for pointing it out. As long as you can see it, keep us honest on it.
And I have one more question. Like, I want to know why we have a low presence on social media, like Twitter and all, like Medium, Twitter. Like, I think KubeStellar doesn't have an account on Twitter, or maybe X, I guess. So
Yeah. So
is there
that's
any reason for this?
yeah, it's a good question, JP. So you know what? A couple of things. One is, first of all, I'd like to know, where you're looking and where you'd like to see us, because we'd like to know. So if you can open up an issue and say, I didn't find KubeStellar at such and such, where is the account? We'd love that, because that'll give us an idea of where we need to put our presence, right? Because we can only focus on so many things. Second thing is developer relations program that's starting in the fall, in the beginning of September. We'll focus on things like covering other social media platforms. So if you put yours in, you can influence where we start looking and start posting.
We need to get an account on Blue Sky, for instance.
Right.
Okay. Like, I don't have any intentions for filling the form to the DevRel positions, but I'm just curious about the social presence.
Yeah, so we don't know where we're missing right now. So if you don't mind, open an issue, and that'll help us, collect where people want to see us, and we'll move in that direction. Is that okay?
I try my best. Yeah, I try my best. Thanks. And
Thanks
yeah,
very much, JP.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Anybody have any other questions? Okay, I think that about does it. Thanks everybody for joining today, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. Man, the year is flying by. We'll be in September. Okay, everybody, have a good weekend. Take care. Oh, you're welcome, JP.
And yeah, have a great day.